yeah, 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 yeah. Thursday, what you know? What? Throwback, what? Yeah, 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 yeah. What? Yeah, 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 yeah. Easy to get along with, but hard to live with, baby. Are they one and the same? Let me. Yeah, yeah. How y'all feeling? Emily, John Lapp is in the house. T Carry right, what's up? Maritza Allbird, Varshay. How y'all feeling? Get it in, baby. Throwback. Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Hold up, let me switch it up. Hold up. Hold up, let me think about it. 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 Let me rest on it. Let me think about it. Keep it going now. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I like that. Are y'all ready? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about easy to get along with, hard to live with tonight. Easy to get along with, hard to live with tonight. Easy to get along but hard to eat. What? Do you understand what I'm saying? You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and and all of and which what? Let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. So we talking about tonight. What we are talking about tonight is when you're easy to get along with, but hard to live with. A lot of people that you may know, and it may even apply to yourself. Some people are easy to get along with. They may be easy going. They may be easy to agree with. They may be very amenable to compromise until you are sharing living space. And that's when things get a little bit dicey. That's when things get a little bit tight. That's when things get a little bit different. That's when things get a little bit uncompromising. That's when things get a little bit unforgiving. That's when things get a little bit like, yo, I ain't know they was like this. Yo, son, you know what I mean? Listen, I only needed to, listen, I ain't gonna be here no long time. But what about when it's a romantic situation? One of the hardest things to do in a romantic situation or an exclusive situation is to move in with your love and then move out and still stay together. Some people have done it. Some people have been able to pull it off. Hold on a second, y'all. It's a little warm in here today. Spring is acting like it's springing. You know what I mean? It's springing today. And I ain't trying to be all like, I don't want to be all sweaty Murphy on y'all, and that's not a hard thing for me to pull off. So, let me get right for y'all. Let me get right and exact. But yeah, some people change and do a whole 360 when you are living under their roof. Now, other people can get real different when they're living under somebody else's roof. And some of y'all may know what I'm talking about on that end. You know, have you ever known somebody who never really has a place of their own? So they're not exactly couch hopping, but they are definitely never found. Their names are never found on a lease or a mortgage or a deed or nothing like that. They always find somebody to shack up with, somebody to roommate with. Subletting your apartment, baby. What you know about that? So it can get a little tough. It can get a little tough because there is no better way to get to know somebody than to live with them. Now, that's not to say that you're going to be up under each other 24 hours a day. You may both have to work. You may have other social activities outside of the home. You may have familial duties that do not involve your personal domicile. But you will get to know a person's character. And I will say, normally I wouldn't say the real person, but what's realer, what's more authentic, what's more consistent than when you are watching somebody in the element of their own home, their own cave, their living space where they rest their head, watch their TV, wash their ass, you know, shoot the pool, play the video games, maybe the air hockey, whatever, however your place is set up. You know, the home is your place of privacy, and you will see how people act when they do not get the privacy that they may require, because they may not always speak up about it. Not everybody expresses how they feel about something. It's a little too early. It's a little too early.
You have a call.
Caller. Caller, this is what we're going to do. You're a little early. We don't take calls while I'm doing my intro, but you can hold on. And as soon as I'm finished my intro, I will let you go ahead and speak your piece. In the event that you are not a spammer or a scammer or a troll, because normally, like I've told y'all on multiple occasions, when people call in before I'm even finished doing my intro, yeah, they're not calling on good terms. But you never know. You know, I'm not going to judge prematurely. But that's what we're talking about tonight. Easy to get along with, but hard to live with. It sounds oxymoronic. Well, if you're so easy to get along with, I'm saying, son, if you're so easy to get along with, why would you be hard to live with? If you so easy to get along with, why and how could you be hard to live with? See, the caller hung up. See, you understand what I'm saying? The caller hung up. They like, nah, I'm not gonna wait all of this time. He probably had his troll energy ready. Oh, they call him back. Well, let's see here. Let's see, how art thou? Remember my initial warning, y'all. Remember my initial warning.
You have a call from
caller with the last number 00848. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, what's going on with you?
Huh?
What's going on with you?
No, it's not about what's going on with me. Yo, you heard the topic of the night? Speak on it. What you got to say?
What's the topic, though?
Look, man, we're not doing that. What did you call in for if you didn't know what we were talking about?
We talk. I don't know what the topic is, though. That's
then why did you call in? Why would you call in if you didn't know the topic?
The messages said to call in.
What message?
The chat in the comments.
Okay, so if you were in the chat, then you know what I was talking about then.
No, I was there for like a second.
You missed.
Well, I think it's about love. It's about love. Am I wrong?
Huh?
Is it about love or am I wrong?
Wrong about what? What are you asking me?
Is it about love?
No, it's not about love. It's not about love.
Oh.
This
What's
is
it about?
the topic. I'm going to give you this freebie. Against my better judgment, I'm going to give you this topic. We're talking about easy to get along with, hard to live with.
Oh, okay. It's way harder to live with someone than you can get along with anybody.
Who?
If you live with someone, you can get along with anyone. But if you live with someone, that's a whole different thing. Because everyone plays, lies and like whatever because they want to get along with that person. But as soon as all that breaks away and you're together, then the real side comes out.
Oh yeah?
Am I wrong?
Well, it depends. Yeah. It depends. How could a person be easy to get along with but hard to live with? Why wouldn't you be easy to live with if you are easy to get along with? Are you?
Just getting along with someone doesn't mean. Getting along with someone is like just you can be nice to someone doesn't mean you love. Okay, hold on a second. So, how would it be easier the other way around though?
No, I'm not saying that it's easier any other way around, but what I'm saying is, if somebody is easy to get along with, why would that be situational? Why would they only be easy to get along with as long as you don't live with them? Either they are easy to get along with or they ain't.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah. Yeah, if you can get along with someone, it wouldn't be too hard to live with them. But then it boils down back to like the little things. If I do one thing that you don't like, but I'm still easy to get along with, it doesn't mean you want to live with me.
Okay. So when you really unpack this, right? I'm thinking that a person is either easy to get along with or they're moody. Now you can have moody people who are still easy to get along with, but I'm not sure if that would qualify them in full to be called easy to get along with. You understand what I'm saying? Like they have to be in a certain kind of mood in order to be easy to get along with. Because when you say getting along with somebody, that doesn't have anything to do with you liking them. When you get along with somebody, that means that you are easy. It's easy to interact with them. It's easy to be around them. It's easy to be in their presence. It's easy to be on their team. It's easy to be in agreement with them. Easy. That's what getting along means. It doesn't, regardless of whether I like you or not, we get along. We get along pretty well. It doesn't mean that you're my best friend, but we get along and it's easy. Maybe you're the type of person that, that listens well, that is open to new ideas or better ideas or whatever. Maybe you're not the type that gets stuck on whatever principles that you have. Maybe you are an agreeable type of person, so you're easy to get along with. Maybe you're just cool as hell. Easy to get along with, friendly, easy to get along with. But when you live with somebody, maybe the Mr. Hyde comes out, maybe the Mr. Hyde comes out of that Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's like, again, this is all sort of situational, isn't it, though, too? Because, I can get along with someone that at work doesn't want to live with them, but, I live with someone I might not get along with. As in, a brother, a sister, or whoever. So it's really situationally, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Have you ever known? First of all, let me ask you something. Have you ever lived with anybody? Or do you live with somebody?
I've Yes, I've moved probably 10 times. I want to say in the past 10, at least in the past like 15 years. I've lived with multiple different people, cousins, aunts, friends, relationship partners. You can name it.
Okay, so let's start. Let's start with you said you lived with your aunt before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what was your relationship with your aunt before you moved in with her?
Almost like zero. So she was my mom married my stepdad. My stepdad's aunt, I really didn't get to know her too well, and then they moved out to Florida, and then I backpacked along a year later, and then it was just them because they. So it's my dad, my mom, and my aunt. They all live in the same house. So moving there, it was weird because like it's it's weird because like you want to go back to your parents, but then also you got your aunt there. So it's and with the relationship that we had, we didn't know each other too well. So it was weird. Like she was very open and respectful and everything else, but it's like moving in with a stranger all of a sudden. You don't know how they act or how they move. Is it gonna work well? I don't know.
Well, that's what the reason that I asked you how was your relationship with your aunt before you moved in with her, because I'm thinking that perhaps your relationship with your aunt was good enough to the point where you felt comfortable moving into her crib. You know what I mean? I mean, that might have been your favorite auntie or whatever. I don't know. But I'm thinking that.
Sure, yeah.
But because I'm thinking like the only way I would ever move in with any of my family members is we would have to be on really, really good terms, before I moved in, or I would have to seek out another alternative. Now I could see if it was a situation where it was kind of like an emergency. Let's say your place got was in a fire or something like that, and you really didn't have anywhere to go, and you didn't want to be in a shelter or in a hotel, and so your aunt or whatever put you up. And but you really get to know a person in a different kind of way when you live under their roof. So you know how some people have certain rules when you live under their house. Let's say your aunt said, "Well, listen, if you want to live under my roof, you got to work. I don't care if you have enough money to not have to work. You got to work because you can't be around this house all day chilling."
Yeah, trash, whatever. You got to be doing something.
I mean, well, I'm saying, let's say you were independently well off, not necessarily wealthy, but independently well off. But let's say your aunt was like maybe she was like a controlling person, to whereas even if you had enough money to pay her rent, help her out with the bills and everything like that, maybe she still required you to work anyway. So you're like, wait, why? You know what I mean? Maybe you have checks coming in. Maybe you work on the internet or whatever. You don't have an outside job, but you have an income that's sustainable. But she requires you to get a job because that's
right. So that would be a little. I mean, I'm not sure. I guess like that really depends. Because I could, with that situation, like if I have a job and I'm paying, rent and I'm doing chores on my house and whatever else, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what she exactly expects, if it's more than that, I mean, there has to be a certain reason or something going on there. Because if you're holding up your end of the business, well, I don't know why it wouldn't be not a partnership, but like, there's a mutual respect of like, I'm doing what I'm doing to make sure that I'm good. You guys are set,
Yeah, of course. In your mind, you're thinking like, what difference does it make whether I work an outside job, as long as I have money and I'm taking care of business, right? But maybe some people, because their name is on the lease or their name is on the deed, they get really, really controlling over other people who live in the house. Otherwise, they might be okay outside of the house, But inside of their house, they might become a different monster. Like, for example, let's say you're the type of person who likes to sleep in, on your days off, whether it's the weekend or something like that. Yeah, you might just like to sleep in, chill in your drawers or whatever, work the remote all day, play the game, whatever it is that you do. You may just like to mail it in on your days off and kick back and relax. And you may be living with somebody that doesn't like that. So because they have to wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's their routine, they want you to wake up 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And you're like, no, I'm not ready to wake up. Maybe they make a bunch of noise, so they make it hard for you to lay around all day. And they're doing it on purpose because they don't want you laying around all day.
Okay, yeah, no, I can give you, see, and that's, oh man, I can give you like 2 examples right off the bat. I'll give you this one because I think it's a little more, I don't know, substantial. So, I mean, I've had a bad drinking habit, since 21. And I just moved in with my friend about 4 months ago. And the drinking habit got out of control. And, my bro's, girl was pregnant. And they had a dying dog. Like this motherfucker had to be on a harness and walk out to take a shit. Yeah, so like not good situation. And then you bring me into the mix. Not good. And through several, conversations and bad nights, I had to reel it back. I'm not someone that they wanted to have, but like since, I was down on, on some other shit, and, I've known my friends since I was 10, some shit like that. We consider ourselves brothers, but I was not 4 months ago someone you would want to live with, even though we love each other like family. Now it's a lot better. I've completely cut back on the drinking. Shit's good. And now I feel like now I'm a decent person to live with, not someone who just is up at like, I mean, I can't really say now I'm up at fucking 1:30 in the morning. Like, I'm not fucking doing dumb shit anymore. I'm actually contributing to the family instead of like being the one who isn't. So in that sense, it's harder to live with someone than to be with someone, I feel like still.
Yeah.
They had to put a lot in to keep me around. And I don't know if they still want me around, to be honest, but it is what it is. I'm trying to make it better.
Yeah. Hey, like my whole premise is that it's not always easy to live with somebody, and somebody that may have previously or otherwise been easy to get along with. When you live with them, it may bring a different challenge and a different dynamic of whether it's easy to get along with them anymore. They may no longer be able they may no longer be easy to get along with anymore. And the thing is, moving in with somebody can change your whole opinion of them, your whole outlook on them for the rest of your life. Like, I'm not sure that after you live with somebody and it was a negative experience, or even if it was a positive experience, I'm not sure if you can go back to the same opinion of a person that you had before. For example.
Yeah, it's not weird. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, for example, you learn somebody's hygienic habits when you live with them. So, in other words, you learn if they stink or not, or if they are nasty or not. You may have never really gotten close to somebody to really, like if you've never hugged anybody, you don't really know they scent. But when you get up in their neck, you be like, they don't wash very well. Well, ain't this some shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say, like, I mean, for an example, in a sense, quick one. My cousin came to live with us, and I thought the world of him. And then all of a sudden he lived with us, and I was just like, what is going on right now? Because this is not the same person who I had in my head. You know, it's like, it just changed because it was just like in front of me all the time. Instead of like once in a while, it's just like, oh, there it is. That's awesome. But instead, all the time, it's just like, oh shit, that's a lot. You know? So.
Yeah, it's like I said, you learn a lot about a person when you live with them. You may not learn every single thing about them, but you're gonna learn some real shit. You're gonna learn some things that may not make you comfortable. You know? When you live with somebody, you're probably gonna find out if they were capable of doing things like killing someone or being used by somebody. You'll find that out. Because you'll find out where their anger level is, where their real irritation level is. It's easy to hide that outside of the home. Inside of the home, it's a little bit harder to hide it. Because
what's the if you don't mind me asking, what's been your perspective? What's your experience on this?
I'm not an easy person to live with for a couple of reasons. I would probably be an easier person to live with if we are in a very, very big house. I'm a little spoiled with some things. Like I've always had my own room. I've never had to share a room. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, when I went away to college, I had to have a roommate. I didn't like it.
Oh, God, dude, that's going to be a fucking twist right there.
Hey, man, you know what I mean? It's not, and I didn't have really bad, my first roommate was somebody that I knew.
Okay.
You understand what I'm, so, because I knew him, I already knew some things about him. Because I knew him well. We were good friends. Sure. I knew, like he lived at home with his parents, but he had his own, he had the basement apartment in his parents' house. So
that's fucking sick though. I had the same deal. That's actually sick.
Yeah, it was a good deal for him. It was a good deal for him, but here's the thing. He had his own space. He had the whole basement to himself, but this dude did not work. He didn't work.
Oh.
And so he sponged off his parents all the time. So he was independent, and totally codependent. So when we lived together, it was a problem. Because I had my own apartment. By the time I went to college, by the time I went away to college, when I first went to college, I went to a branch campus, a local campus. And then I spent 2 years there, and then I went up to the main campus at Penn State. So I had my apartment for 2 years before I went away. So I was used to living by myself. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm used to having my own space. So when I had to share space, and that means you have to compromise with other people. You have to respect the way that they do things. The fact that that part of the room is theirs. It's a small room. You don't really have enough room for all of your shit. They may have too much shit. You know what I mean? Time, maybe, okay, like when my first roommate, he was the type that stayed up all night long. I had morning classes. He had afternoon classes, and he didn't go to his classes. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm serious about school, and he's bullshitting because he was a social butterfly. I'm up there to get my fucking degree and move on. He's up there chilling. Like, yeah, this is all right. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So after we were only roommates for one semester, there was no way I was going to room with him ever again in life for any reason. You know, I saw him in a totally different light after that. You know, you know, like we were still cool, but we, you know, it had removed a small part of my admiration element for him. So yeah, with me, I'm going to need, in order for me to live with somebody, we gotta, like this house. Nah, I lived with one person in this house before. And I got used to it. I did. I got used to it. And I felt like it was enough room because it was only us two and we had more than enough bedrooms or whatever. We ain't have to be up under each other all the time. But when my nephew stayed with me for 3 years, that was tough. It was tough because he was young. He was irresponsible as fuck. You know what I mean? And I was, and he was codependent. He didn't like to pay no bills. He felt like he should be able to eat whatever's in the refrigerator and the freezer. He felt like he should be able to leave all of the lights on all of the time. You know, be home all day, using up all of the heat and all of that kind of shit and not contributing. That's how he felt. I felt differently.
Yeah, you feel disrespected in ways. So it's not like, you know, I don't know, because when they're young, it's hard to be like, you have to, it's like, they're just not thinking correctly. You know, it's tough because, you know, I want to say they're trying to take it for a free ride or some bullshit, because I hope that's not what's going on. But, like, how do you get past, like, not being, like, stepping in like a father? Because you can't do that. You're not the actual father, I guess. So it's like, fuck. But it's like, you want to shake the shit on me, like, bro, wake up. You know, that I'm trying to help you so you can help yourself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not an easy thing. In order to live with somebody, you have to be willing to compromise. It won't work otherwise. You can't have everything your way, and not everybody understands that. It seems like an easy enough concept, and sometimes people nod their head yes to it, like yeah, we gotta compromise. When they actually mean that, yeah, you gotta compromise with me. You have to do what I want. You have to listen to my ideas. You have to do things my way. That's what they're really saying in the back of their mind. But they're saying, yeah, compromise. Yeah. We got to respect each other. They mean you have to respect them. Oh, yeah. You know, we have to make sure that we understand each other. What they mean is you have to understand what the fuck I'm saying to you. Understand that if you do something that I don't like, it's going to be a problem up in here.
Yeah.
You know?
See, that's the thing too. Is like, so when you had your nephew, was there any point where you guys like came to like an actual like, you know, it's either this or that, or you gotta go?
Well, yeah, because with me, with my nephew, he was 19. He was 19 when he moved in with me. And he asked to move in. He pretty much begged me because I said no. Like my sister and my brother-in-law were breaking up. They were divorcing. They were separating on their way to getting a divorce. And so the kids were all going with her. And they were going to stay at my mom's house. My mom has a big house and she has enough room for everybody. But my nephew didn't want to stay at my mom's house. So he asked, could he stay with me? And I was like, nah, you know, stay at Granny's house. He was like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't want to stay at granny house, cause and blah, blah. And I'm thinking like a 19-year-old man, yeah, you need him. You know what I mean? He needs somewhere he can get some pussy, jerk off in peace. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right. I really didn't want to do it, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't want to do it. And my house wasn't guest ready. I didn't have a bed and all of that kind of shit set up. I had this big pretty ass chaise lounge, and he slept on that, ruined it. Huh?
Anyway, but yeah, like fuck, that came out the blue, and you just had to deal with it.
Wait.
Fuck.
Say it again. Your phone was breaking up a little bit.
Oh.
What did you say?
Oh, my bad. Just you got it not exactly dropped on you, but like, so like, did he? What's his relationship with his dad?
His relationship with his dad was good. Well, his biological dad, they were a little estranged. I say a little estranged because it's not like they didn't know where each other were or didn't have any type of interaction, but the interaction between the two of them dwindled more and more and more, as he got older. So he wasn't in his life at that time, but my brother-in-law pretty much raised him. And they were on good terms. But, even when you're on good terms with a teenager, teenagers can turn on you. Not all of them. But teenagers can turn on you during that teenage time. Once they get a little older and get their shit together and they understand more, they might really regret how they may have mistreated you when they were younger, but they can turn on you. So I think that a little of that was going on with my brother-in-law and my nephew. But bottom line is my nephew didn't, he always had good jobs. He was a worker. He didn't mind working. He always had good jobs, but he didn't have a problem quitting a job and not having a job for a while. But he always got really, really good paying jobs. He was very skilled, very good on the computer. He went to school for some kind of computer school and shit. I think it was Kathy Gibbs School or whatever. And so they taught him to do whatever he was doing. So he had good jobs, like really, really good jobs. He went from one good job to another good job to another good job, but he didn't like to pay any bills, and he didn't think that he should have to. And that's where things, and he wanted company all the time because he was starting to produce music for people, and so he had his rapper friends, producer friends coming over the house. Shit started coming up missing. He's taking no responsibility for it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't used to no traffic coming in and out of the house, and I didn't like it, especially when I wasn't here because he wasn't monitoring motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's hard too because, well, especially like bringing people like what he should have done at the bare minimum, at least have contact with you, like, hey, dude 1, dude 2 is coming over. Just so you know, or not even like just to let you know what the fuck's going on. And I think that would have been a mutual sign of respect, and then hopefully that he would respect the people that are coming over and know to manage them. That when they're at that place, it's not even his place; it's your place.
Yeah, well, he definitely did not do the right things.
Which, again, that's Kim being.
Yeah, he did not do the right things. I'm here to tell you, he did not do the right things, and I was mad at him for years after that. But
You guys good now or what?
Yeah, we're good now. We're good now. He's matured. He's doing well and all that kind of shit. But at the time, I learned a lot about myself too. And I learned I learned that number one, I could raise children. Because essentially it was like raising a child. Seriously, just because you are just because you are a certain age, if your experience and your maturity level is not up to what your age is, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, if somebody else having to deal with you is going to still take a lot of time and patience and tolerance and understanding and compromise and shoot, there were times when I had to compromise with my goddamn self. Because, look, this was my house, fully paid for. I didn't have a mortgage or nothing like that. So I didn't take too kindly to somebody coming over acting like you're not contributing shit. And no matter how easy I made it for him to contribute, he just couldn't. So it didn't matter what. I was only charging him, I think, $75 a month.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
It was so cheap.
So cheap.
And trust me, and he was ducking the shit out of me. How you gonna duck somebody in your own house?
$75, bro. What?
Yo, it was crazy. Wait a minute, what was it that cheap? Maybe it's $50 a week coming out to $200 a month. Maybe that's what it was. Cause I'm like, I don't know if I made it that easy. I know it wasn't covering no bills. I know that. You know what I mean? It was maybe the cable or some shit like that.
Shit, if you tell me it's $50, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind right now.
Yeah,
I'm luckily paying fucking $800 for a one room right now. So if you're paying $50, he was. Can I move with you, bro? Come on with you.
Look. This was. Now thinking back on it, it was 20 years ago. Because he came to live with me in 94. I'm sorry, 2004.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay.
He lived with me for 3 years till 2007.
Okay, so it was a minute ago. Okay.
Yeah, I had to give him the boot. I was like, look, you getting the fuck out of here. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
I gave him a 30-day notice that he couldn't refuse. But you know what the crazy part about it was? I was bluffing.
Ain't that the funniest thing too?
Hold on though. Hold on. I was bluffing. I meant it and I was bluffing at the same goddamn time. And when he actually moved, I cried like a fucking baby. He don't know that. But I did because I was worried about him. He was like a son to me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I felt bad. I felt like I kicked my son out. You know what I mean? I didn't feel, based on how he conducted himself in here, I was like, he ain't ready for the world. Yeah, I'm on the phone with my mom like, Khalid left. And, I don't know what he gonna do. This shit's fucked up. But he had to go. He had to go because I couldn't take it no more. My shit coming up missing. One of his motherfuckers stole my PlayStation 2 and my video camera.
No, the PlayStation 2 though, hold up.
We talk about 2007. Wait a minute. Yeah. No, it came up missing in 2006. I hadn't got the PlayStation 3 yet. You know what I mean? Like whoa. Yeah. And that's when video cameras was video cameras. It wasn't all of this. You know what I mean? Like a video camera was a big thing. It was a big thing. Mm-hmm. It was a nice little handheld Panasonic. It was good.
I remember. Oh. So okay. So Matthew's good. What's he doing now though?
He's married with children. Doing really
out of here.
Yeah, he's married with children. He makes really good money. He's still hustling. He had the good shit in him. It was just taking too long to come out. He came from good stock. We don't come from no lazy, stingy type of we don't come from that. So maybe he got that from his dad's side or some shit like that. But the cream always rises to the top. But listen, man, I gotta let you go. I gotta let you
Hey,
go.
no, I appreciate talking with you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thanks for calling in. Don't hesitate to call in again.
All right, man. You have a good night, man.
All right, you take care. Good stuff. Good stuff. I thought he was pranking me. I thought he was trolling, but he wasn't trolling. He was okay. He was good. He was good. How y'all feeling, man? Seika Sala all up in the house, and my man Guado Legends. What's good, man? Hey, yo, Guado Legends. Guess what? You called me earlier today. You thought you were calling somebody else, but you were calling me. And you probably just in your call log. Don't worry about it though. Good to see you. Maritza Allberg is in the house. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Sherrill, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, my? Good to see me some you all the time. And Wisdom, my brother Wisdom. And Wisdom says love needs a healthy dependence, like bond between parents and kids. But these days it's more like a solo competition. The wife's out here thinking, I can do everything a man can do plus better. Ooh, Abdullah Jama. Abdullah Jama was good. Cheryl Halsey all up in the house. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, good looking out. Nicole Ellis was good. Nikki E. What up, y'all? What up? Thanks for coming through. Varshay McDonald, without a doubt. T. Carey Wright, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Let's see. Seika Sala says my first job was a bellman valet at a hotel, so it was decent tips at the time. 18, had a roommate and his girl jacked my month tips. Oh, I was saving about 500 at the time. That was crazy. Yo, that could make a month 500 back in them days. That make a motherfucker go Rambo. That'll make you go Rambo. What up, Melissa? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Cheryl Halsey said it took tears. It took like tears was about to come back. Just talking about, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I put my nephew out. He left. He took some shit with him he had no business to. He took some things that didn't belong to him. But, but even though he was driving me crazy in this bitch, he was like a son to me. And I can't do my son like that. So I was like, it was funny because he went to go stay with some of his boys and they was using him, you know what I mean? They was like sponging off and he was like, yeah, the same thing I was doing to you, they doing to me. I was like, well, ain't this some shit? I was still mad. I was mad. Once I found out that he was good, I was back to being regular mad, like he was still with me. Like, you owe me money, nigga. Because he did. He left owing me dough and all that. Sometimes, hey, man. Some debts will never be repaid. Some debts have to be paid in better behavior. If you agree with that, say amen. If you don't agree with it, I understand. Some people like, yo, it was too much money for that shit to be paid in better behavior. But I'm proud of him. He's doing really, really well. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. It is what it is. In the grand scheme of things, the money that he owed me, that shit ain't about nothing. In today's market, that ain't gonna pay a lot of bills. It'll pay a couple of them. It'll get me through the month with a couple of bills, maybe like an electric bill, maybe a cable bill, electric. Yeah, I still got cable. Yeah, I haven't cut the cord. So what? I like cable. I do. I like cable. I'm sorry. I like the remote. You know what I mean? I like the guide. I like having a DVR. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't ready to just be having apps and shit. Apps, you don't even know what the fuck is on. The apps and shit. Apps, I don't know. I can't do it. The apps. I don't know. Can't do the apps. All right. Cheryl says that was a debt with the heart. It's very profound of you. It's very profound of you, miss. Very, very, very profound. But yeah, easy to get along with, hard to live with. What do y'all know about being easy to get along with, but hard to live with? You know, for all of y'all out there listening, how old were y'all when y'all lived? I don't know. Maybe the first person you ever lived with was your spouse. If so, list that. Put that in the chat. Let's talk about it. If it was otherwise, if you just lived with your boy, listen, some of y'all lived with your boyfriend or girlfriend while y'all was teenagers. Maybe either left the crib or got kicked out of the crib. Shout out to all of the chicks that got pregnant as teenagers. Moms and pops wasn't with it. Like, you getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Since you want to be fucking and you want to be getting pregnant, well, you got to go. Some parents really meant that shit. Most parents didn't. But you had some mean ass parents that like, oh, you pregnant? Oh yeah, I warned you. If you get pregnant, you got to go. So here, grab you by the collar. I said grab by. Get the fuck. Come back with the grandchild later on, like, oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. If you want to come back home, you can come back home. Man, you kick me the fuck out. Anyway, some people I know was already living with their boyfriend or their girlfriend at 15, 16 years old. So when some people talk about they had to grow up quick, they ain't bullshitting. Some of them didn't have no baby though. They got kicked out of the crib anyway. You want to be grown. 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 Yeah. Since you want to be grown, you need to get out of here. You need to live on your own. Yo, you can't do what you want to do. Don't try to take none of that out of your room. It don't belong to you. If you didn't buy it, you ain't got no job. Bitch, don't even try it. Oh, you want to sell drugs, want to sell weed, want to smoke the bud, get the fuck out of here. Yo, you gotta go, gotta get out. You know what I'm talking about. When I get home from work, you better be gone. And I ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm about to get on the horn, tell the cops that you got that coke that you're selling, or the weed. You know what you need. Yo, what you need to do is get out of my crib, cause I ain't getting my crib raided like they did round the corner. You know Miss Macy, her shit got taken from her. You must be crazy. It won't be happening to me. Y'all generation's fucked up, see? So you gotta get out of my house. Know you're only 16, but get the fuck out. Yeah. What? I said, you wanna be grown? I said, you wanna be grown? I said, since you wanna be grown, get out on your own. I said, since you wanna be grown. I said, since you wanna be grown. I said, since you wanna be grown, you gotta get the fuck out. Yo, you don't try to take the TV, cause that phone belongs to me. I pay the tell you what, I'ma let you take the phone, but that number ain't gonna be good no more, cause I took it off my friends and family plan. Since you think you wanna be a grown man, yeah, go live with your man or your girl. Speaking of your girl, better use them condoms. You wanna be a little fast ass? Yeah, yeah, what? Yeah. Bring your boys up in my house. You about to get knocked the fuck out. Y'all know what I'm talking about, do you? Do you know what I'm talking about, baby? Brother Hagooski. What up, my brother? What up? What up? What up? What's good? Oh. All right. Okay, what we got? Sika Sala says, the bitch actually helped me and my roommate look for... Oh, she did the crackhead move. Stole your shit and help you... Okay, she actually helped me and my roommate look for it, shaking my head. She admitted to it after my boy looked in her purse. She gave me half of it back and my boy paid me the other half the money back. Damn. Oh, Buana, you was 21 or 22 the first time you ever lived with somebody? Okay. Okay, Shirley Cheryl says, the first person I ever lived with was my best friend till today. It took about 2 years before I slowly got my own. Best times was, shoot, your shit sound all positive. That's what's up, though. That's a good look. Sega Sala says, 18 with my homeboy. We had a 2 and 2. Well, y'all went half, 800 a month. In Central Florida, we were splashing University of Florida chicks and FAMU chicks. Ooh. Oh, FAMU chicks. Ooh. Florida A&M. Ooh. Word. Boy, I said, son getting rid of stress. It's too much. Too much. Okay. Sega Sala says, Ybor City was popping back in the day. Now I heard it's not the same. We used to go down to the Latino liquor store and they would sell us with no ID. Yeah, those times. Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, like, you know, the first time you live with somebody, you know, it can be a hell of an experience, man. But you're going to learn a lot about a person. Like Seika, you did good because look at it like, suppose your homeboy either put his girl up to rob you or knew that she took it from you and didn't say nothing and just let you eat that shit. Come on, man. You know what I mean? He could have just been on some stingy shit, rode with her. You know what I mean? Or maybe, you know, maybe it could have been because he was too embarrassed to, you know, admit to you that his girl had done some shit like that. Cause what are you doing with a girl that would steal something from out of y'all place? Damn, man. I mean, when you really think about it, some grimy ass shit. The person he doing a nasty with, he's sticking her, she's sticking y'all. Damn, why you try to stick me for my paper? Damn, why you want to stick me for my paper? Damn, why you want to stick me for my paper? Why, son? But it's all good. It is. But you learn a lot about a person when you move in with them. So when we say easy to get along with, hard to live with, the hard to live with part can come because it was easy to get along with a person as long as the situation didn't warrant y'all having to share. People get different when it's time to share. When it's time to share, especially if they have to share something of theirs. Now, some people will tell you, oh, no, I don't have no problem sharing. I don't have no problem sharing. But in the, like, deep down in the crevices of their psyche, they like, you need to get your fucking own. I'll share with you until you get your own. But you need to hurry up and fucking get your own. Buana says, first time you got access to all of the pee you wanted, you could just roll over in the middle of the night and get some pee. Yeah. And you ain't have to live with them to do that. You ain't have to do shit, man. Yeah. And you know, in order for that to work out right, you gotta be pleasing them. Cause trust and believe, you ain't just gonna be rolling over and sticking, you know what I mean, in the middle of the night. You ain't gonna be waking up with no dick if that dick is trash. She gonna throw a barrier up like let me put it this way. Once they start going to bed with panties and a nightgown, or you know, and maybe some shorts, trust me, it ain't because a period is on. Trust me, she the admin of the pussy. She's gonna be the admin. Like, listen, you gotta come and register every time you wanna. You know, you don't have to swipe your card every time you need to. You know, you need card access. You can't just access these walls, these catacombs. You can't just access these catacombs. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's see how this poll is going. Let's see how this poll is going. Which is the hardest for you? Loving someone, 24%. Interesting. 14% says getting someone to love you. Okay. This is out of 21 votes. Living with somebody definitely has the lion's share. 48%. And committing to someone long term, 14%. So a lot of people, according to this poll, are challenged with the whole living with somebody thing. Because it's not, listen, man. When a man and a woman live together, they have to try to get on the same page. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. You know, if you've never lived with a woman before, the first time you live with a woman, you're going to learn some shit. You're going to learn some shit. And it might be some shit that you don't like. Mike Mr. Az, or is that Mike Mraz? So why do people listen to your shot? I don't know. Why are you here? That's the only question you should ask. Why are you here? Matter of fact, let me put it in nigga. Why the fuck are you here? Why? How come? But yeah, because when I'm, you know, first of all, you know, if you're dealing with a woman that wears makeup and stuff like that, you're gonna have to understand that they take up the whole sink. So if you have like a sink with a counter, my dude, it's gonna be shit all over the, you know, they be having shit all over. You ever go to a girl crib who lives on her own? You see the way the bathroom look? The bathroom might be sweet. It might smell good. She keeps it clean. Some of them, not all women keep their bathroom clean. Like you draw back that shower curtain. I've noticed something. Women normally keep the shower. For some reason, they think that is wrong for people who come to your house to see your bathtub. So they always have the shower curtain covering the tub. But sometimes that tub ain't clean, man. Ring all, yeah, man, that shit looking nasty. I'm like, yo, what did you do? Did you dye something in this shit? Did you dye something black in this bitch? I don't think that ring coming out. I don't think that ring around there. I don't know what I don't even think that's dirt. What is that? Hard water? That ain't hard water. I don't know. What is that? So that's some women. Nasty, son. Nasty. But, makeup shit, all kinds of eyeliner, black shit all over the place. Curlers, bumpers, whatever they call them shits, whatever plug in and get hot and it's electric and and they do their hair. All that shit, man. They will take over your bathroom. So you live with a woman, especially a black woman. I don't know about what it's like to live with a white woman. But when you live with a black woman, yeah, she gonna have all kinds of hair products, all kinds of facial products, all kinds of shit. She taking over the bathroom, son. She's taking over the bathroom. Some of them hand wash they drawers, hang them up in them. They don't give a fuck. They don't. And you got to get used to that. And she expects you to understand already. Maybe you will understand if you've had sisters, but if you grew up with sisters and you were at your parents' crib, your sisters they weren't allowed to just take over the bathroom. Everybody had to be able to use the bathrooms. That's whether you had one or you had multiple. So everybody had to respect that one little space. It was a common area. So, yeah, it's different. It's different. Closet space. If you got a lot of clothes, she got a lot of clothes, something has to give. Y'all got to work something out. Might have to go to Walmart, Target, or somewhere and get them storage bins. Everything can't go in the closet. Might have to separate the clothes for each season. Summer, winter, spring, and fall. Hold on. Oh shit. Marissa says, what about living with a passive aggressive personality? It's just, yeah. The passive aggressive personality. The type of person that will say yes and act like they agree, but they don't agree, and they're gonna conveniently forget what y'all agreed on, or what was said, or yeah. Segasala says Iber City, FAMU, Bethune Cookman, even Howard chicks used to go to the Iber City instead of ATL. Howard girls were always light skinned, arrogant. Really? Okay. Come to think about it, all the girls I know who went to Howard were light skinned. They ain't play that at Lincoln. All right. Sure, Halsey says, my niece lived with us. We did not change her anything until we found out she was giving money to the boyfriend she had to go. Buana says some women places chaos. I usually don't screw those women. Keep that chaos to yourself. Marissa says, once upon a time, I let someone that had problems move in with me. He was a couch potato. I had to ask him to leave after a few months. That's what I'm talking about. Don't want to do shit. Don't want to hustle. Don't want to contribute. Don't want to. I didn't get shit. Yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, it's a noble gesture to let somebody who's down on their luck move in with you. But to keep it real with you, it's not the best idea. Sometimes it's better to let them go find another place of their own. Sometimes that's the better look. Because sometimes that's the only way you're ever going to remain cool. That's the only way you're gonna stay friends with somebody. Sometimes because people will drive you batshit crazy. They will take you there. They'll take you places where you didn't want to go, and you won't be able to return. So the way that you feel about somebody, the good feelings that you have with somebody, that's not the easiest thing to preserve. You have to work hard to preserve that. And living with somebody can take away all of those good feelings that you had about them to the point where you forgot that they had any good in them. Sometimes. Easy to get along with, hard to live with. And you start thinking, when were they ever easy to get along with? Because when you moved in with them, all of that dissipated. All of that went away. It etch-a-sketched your memory away from all of the good that they had ever done in their lives. Or like white women from down south say life, they be like life. Like that shit got an O in it. Live your life. Live your life. Your life. Your life. Your life. My man. My baby brother Charles Lindsay is in the house. Baby boy, what's good? What's good? Sega Sala says, son, was Penn State as black man issue? The black community at Penn State was pretty tight. There was only about maybe 1,500 of us out of 40,000. There was about 1,500 of us, and most of us knew each other well. We all spoke to each other, and we had the Black Student Union. We was plugged in with each other because we knew what we were up against. So yeah, we was tight. We knew the Oreos, the ones that didn't, the cats that was. We knew the Saquon Barkleys. Yeah, listen, we knew the Saquon Barkleys. There were a lot of Saquon Barkleys, but there were a lot of cats that was up there that you would have thought belonged in an HBCU because we was up on our history, we was up on our community, we got it in. We was just there, to get an education because at the time we were able to go to school because of the affirmative action thing. So we already had the stigma on us that we was only there because of affirmative action. Like affirmative action will get you in there, but it won't keep you in there. And it definitely won't graduate your ass. Ain't no affirmative action degrees. It's just affirmative action admissions. So you could go, but you don't do your work. You don't have the acumen. You ain't staying. So those of us who did graduate, we meant to do that shit, So, and we wasn't, we didn't get caught up in, we didn't get caught up in all of the, let's just say we kept it a buck. You know what I mean? But I don't miss my Penn State days because I never liked school. But yeah, my man Charles Lindsay said, living with people changes everything, and it does. The first time a man lives with a woman, you think you ready for that shit, but you going to school. And every woman ain't the same. So the first woman that you got with may have been messy and dirty and really kind of nasty. And you realize like, damn, I'm shacking up with a nasty, this chick nasty. Don't clean up after herself. And Don't give a fuck. And then you might, live with another chick and she is straight neat freak. Making you look bad. Now you the slob. You the slob. For example, ever try to eat a bag of peanuts without spilling any of them? Shells or nothing? Try it. Try eating a whole bag of peanuts without spilling it. Eat a bag of peanuts and then look at your area. Now, if you can eat a whole bag of peanuts, and I ain't talking about the little planter's bag. I'm talking about a real bag of peanuts, not the ones that are already out of the shell, the little salted ones and all of that, especially the little honey coated ones, which is good. I'm talking about real roasted peanuts, that are still in the shell. You got to crack them shits. And once you crack it, then there's still a shell around the nut. Eat a bag of those and look at your area. And that'll tell you how messy or neat you are. Some of y'all can't eat a bag of corn chips without spilling a bunch of them shits. You eating corn chips like the Cookie Monster eat cookies. Cookie! Cookie! So imagine eating a bag of peanuts with no trash can. See how well you do. See how well you do. You might get with a chick that makes you look like you just ate a bag of peanuts with no trash can. You looking real messy Marvin-ish. You a real messy Marvin. You went from living with trashy Tina to pristine Priscilla. The bag of Smee, the bag of peanuts test. That shit ain't for the weak. That shit ain't for the weak. I tried to. What made me think of that shit is I was at my mom's crib last Sunday and I'm trying to eat these peanuts. I'm like, God damn. It's just, I only ate about 10 of them. Like, man, you can't. It looked like I had a strong ass fan on me and it was making me, it was just blowing everything. I was like, man, let me get this little vacuum cleaner, man. Come over here. Eat a bag of peanuts. Eat a bag of peanuts. It's like a bag of peanuts, baby. But yeah. So you might go from a real slob type of chick to a real neat freak. The thing is, y'all gonna bump heads either way, because at the end of the day, the slob chick, the messy chick, she feels like it's her right to be messy, and she's gonna deny that she's messy. Ain't nobody messy. I'm just saying, you trying to be all OCD. You ain't even all that clean. The fuck out of here. You drawing. And then, the neat freak, she looking at you like, who raised you, nigga? Who raised you, nigga? What, didn't your mama and daddy teach you how to eat with a knife and fork? You eat like somebody who grew up using chopsticks and never learned to use them. You know what? From now on, strictly finger foods for you. Sandwiches, burgers, fries, chicken fingers, shit like that. You're not ready for a steak. You're not good with a roast. You're not ready to carve. Like, nigga, you so bad with a knife, I wouldn't even trust you to stab me in the back. Yeah, you're so messy. I wouldn't trust you to stab me in the back. Knowing you would just have to bite my back out. You would just have to bite my. Artifacts, what's good? Thanks for coming through. You know what I'm saying, Cheryl? Like, nah, no utensils for you. You don't know how to use. You don't know how to use a fork and a knife. You ain't grow up that way. You cheese steak, cheese fries eating ass nigga. You pork and beans fried rice. No utilities. Chicken fingers, nuggets, hoagies, sandwich, French fries, hamburger. That's you. That's you. Like I said, I wouldn't trust you to stab me in the back. Here, nigga, do it. Go ahead, do it. Can we try it again? No. Just bite my back out. You better at that anyway. Rumor spreading ass. Throwing me under the bus ass. Go ahead. Just bite my back out. Ow! False teeth having ass nigga. False teeth having ass nigga. All right, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Actual facts. I'm just saying. But anyway, like I said, easy to get along with, hard to live with. Living with somebody changes the whole game. Gary says, no man that's big black look like his. Wait. No man that's a big back look like it's carried a lot of weight over the years. I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. I'm gonna have to wait till you write your next sentence. Maybe I can pick it up. But for now, yeah, when you live with a chick for the first time, you're gonna learn a lot about yourself. And one thing you're gonna learn about yourself is your own level of hygiene. Cause one of y'all is gonna do the laundry. Oh, Gary says, oh, I'm saying I don't want to take a bite out of that back. I'm gonna wait for you to write something else because you're not computing here. Yeah, I'm having a slow moment. I'm gonna roll back my intelligence back to I don't know, preschool or some shit like that. Get set. We gonna roll it back. So I'm gonna wait for you to write something else because you coming up short. But yeah. One of y'all is gonna do laundry when you live with somebody. You're gonna have to be comfortable with your dirty clothes. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to be comfortable with your dirty clothes. The clothes that you put in the dirty clothes bin, the hamper and shit. How dirty are they? Are they mechanic grease monkey dirty? Or are they I've been running ball all day, full court for 3 or 4 hours dirty? All right. We have a caller. Got a caller. I got a caller.
You have a call
Caller with the.
from. Oh,
All right. Caller with the last number is 9310. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, what's up, dog? Long time no talk.
Good to hear from you. What's on your mind?
Oh, he was talking on living with women and shit. And my lady was sitting here right next to you, just absolutely agreeing with you. Just like, who's going to do the dishes? Who's going to do the laundry? Like, me. And we thought that was hilarious.
I mean, it's a serious thing. I mean, when you start breaking down the duties that, well, let me say, you could call them gender roles, but not necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has to be comfortable with what the expectations of the other person is. You know what I mean? So if you sign up to do something that you're really not comfortable with, and then you act like when it's time for you to follow through with what you signed up for, well, what do we have? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, well, like before we were an item, like I told her straight up, like I want traditional. Like I make money, you spend it, and I provide, you nurture.
Okay. Y'all have children?
We have our own children, but none together.
Okay. So what were y'all going to nurture?
Children.
Okay. Since y'all don't have any biological children together, but did y'all blend y'all families?
No, we're not that far along, but
Okay.
It's moving pretty quick, and we're having a great time.
That's cool. So y'all live together now?
Yeah.
Okay. How long y'all been living together?
Like 2 weeks.
How long had y'all known each other before you decided to move in with each other?
3-4 weeks.
God damn.
Yeah, I'd never met a chick like this. Like we hit it off so much. I've never fallen in love so fast, and like we are polar opposites in the best way.
Okay. So y'all haven't even known each other 90 days yet.
Correct.
Okay. Is this the fastest that you've ever moved in with somebody? Have you ever lived with somebody before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Another woman, or was it like a roommate situation?
Both.
Both? All right. So since you've done both, which one would you say is more challenging? Moving in with a woman, or living with a woman, or living with a male roommate?
It's a lot harder to ask my chick for money.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Maybe after y'all get to the 100, maybe after y'all get to the 6 months point, that you might feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. but the thing is, even when you're in a roommate situation, y'all still have to, like men living with each other, it's not always sweet like that. Cause y'all, once y'all start bumping heads over shit like that, y'all can wind up fighting up in there.
Bye.
Yeah, like we've already had our arguments, and we know how to sort shit out. I'm not sure what to say after that.
It's cool. So So, all right, since you said that this is like you're having the greatest time of your life, this is the greatest woman you've ever dealt with, if things are moving along really fast. So, do you think that moving in with a woman to get married after that, or do you think that that's the right pathway towards marriage?
Yeah, I think that's the end goal. Like, if I'm not trying to get married, like, what the fuck am I doing?
Okay. Okay. Because some people
I'm sorry, swear.
no. This is you freedom of speech here. You know, no censorship. But the thing is, some people think that when you live together, then that can stop you from ever actually getting married. And other people believe that you should always test it out before you drive. In other words, you should live with somebody before you actually marry them, so you'll know whether you could actually live with them for
Yeah, I could
for a
see
long
both
time.
sides of the argument. Like, I got some friends that, like, they're hardcore Catholic, and they, they did not even sleep in the same house until they were married.
Right. They were old school Catholics. They didn't break the rules.
Exactly.
Yeah, the newer
They're real
Catholics.
smart people, but they are devout.
So they're devout, huh? So no pearl necklaces for them.
Fail. That was good. That was good.
You know, if you Catholic, you know, you're very familiar with that term.
That's good shit. That was good.
But but yeah, living with each other, sharing living space. You can get into a real selfish type of situation, or feelings of selfishness, especially if you're the type of person that is the one that's on the lease. Like if two people get a place together where both of their names are on the lease or whatever, theoretically that's supposed to be a good situation because you're coming into the situation equally. But I don't really think it makes a difference, because either you're going to compromise and relinquish and submit to the fact that y'all are together, so y'all are taking two people and making them one, or you're going to always be the type that keeps things for yourself and to yourself, which is going to make it impossible for you to ever really be with somebody wholeheartedly and fully.
Yeah, I can see both sides of that argument. Like, that was good insight.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not an easy thing. But if you really don't want to move, the one thing I've learned over the years is if you really don't want to move in with a person, you should not do it. Just because a person wants to move in with you, I don't think that you should let them pressure you, because that's one of those. It's a deep commitment, because when you move in with somebody, that's as close to marriage as you can get, because you're more than playing house. You are sharing finances. You're going to be privy to certain personal things about a person that they would never reveal to anyone that didn't live in their houses. And this is bigger than just snoring or farting all night, or but there are certain personal things. Like, let's say if you're the type of person that has suffered like a really, really bad personal trauma somewhere in your life, and maybe there are times when you have nightmares about it. You know what I mean? Or you talk in your sleep and things like that. That may freak a person out at first. That may not be something that they're used to or even want to deal with. But if you really are feeling a person, you really loving them, or you're getting close to it, you're going to try your best to understand that and work with them and probably help them. But
dog, you are speaking right to me. Like, you have no idea how that fucking speech just hit.
Well, I listen, man. I get it's not easy to show your vulnerability. That's whether you're a woman or a man. A lot of people think that it's easier for women to show their vulnerabilities than it is for men, but men do it also. And when you living with somebody, you don't have a lot of choices. You know what I mean? So if you're the type of person, you know, if you cry at night and shit like that, eventually they're gonna hear you or see you. You know, if you got some shit going on that the rest of the world that does not live with you can't see, the person who lives with you will see it. If you're bipolar, if you suffer from depression, if you just a moody piece of shit.
Damn.
You know, sometimes you find yourself in love with a moody piece of shit. It happens. There are worse things that can happen in life. They may have otherwise really redeeming qualities, but they just happen to be a moody piece of shit. So you don't know who you're dealing with on a daily basis. You don't know if you're going to get the fun. Oh yeah, let's go out and have a couple of drinks. I don't know. Let's see how fast the car can go. You don't know if you're going to get that person or if you're going to get the, oh shit, oh, everything in the world is terrible. My mom never loved me and neither did my dad and my brother touched me. You don't know which one you're going to get, you know? And that's not an easy thing to deal with.
Man, you just dissected everything about us.
Hey, it's
He's a man.
I'm just saying, man, you know, like this is adult conversation and these are the things that adults have to deal with. And speaking of being an adult, being an adult and living with somebody, you're going to have to deal with whatever the other adult had to deal with as a child. All of that shit is going to come out. All of that shit is going to come out. You know, so I guess once y'all decide that what happens in this house stays in this house, hopefully it's safe in the house. Because sometimes when you talk about living with each other, other things happen in the house that aren't safe, like abuse. You know what I mean? Violence and shit, you know, all kinds of stuff that unfortunately some people get used to, even though it's unhealthy, but it happens.
Well, I think that's all we had to say. Good talking to you, Sam.
Yo, man, have a good night. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you.
Her son. My bad.
It's all good. Peace.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
All right. Good stuff. Hair juicer. What's good? What's good? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Dimples D's is in the house. What up? What up? Thanks for coming through. Artifacts. All right, man. I see y'all. Thanks for coming through, y'all. You know, we got a little bit more time left in the show, about, you know, a little under 20 minutes, but we rolling. We doing what we posed to do. We doing what posed to be done. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. Participate in the poll. Let's see where we are with the poll. Out of 29 votes, 29 votes. Let me see. Which is the hardest to you? I'm sorry. What is the hardest for you? Loving someone, 21%. Getting someone to love you, 17%. Living with someone, still winning, 41%. Committing to someone long-term, 21%. Even though living with somebody is the hardest for most people who have polled, it's still, this is pretty balanced. It's pretty balanced otherwise, the other three. Pretty balanced. But yeah, so when we say easy to get along with, hard to live with. You know what I was talking to. What I was talking to the caller about, as far as the things that you'll probably encounter when you live with somebody. All of that shit is facts from my point of view, because you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to find out things about yourself that you're comfortable with and things about yourself that you're uncomfortable with. But a man and a woman living together, you thinking that shit ain't gonna be like Jack, Chrissy, and Janet on Three's Company and shit. It ain't sweet like that. It ain't sweet like that. When it might be all good while you're awake, and then shit can fall apart when it's time to go to bed. Or things can be great in the bedroom and terrible otherwise. Like, we gotta fuck all of our problems away, because we don't get along like shit unless there's sweat and thrusting, bumping, humping. Makeup sex is our only outlet. It's not a good look, but it happens. It happens. Like I said, you'll learn about the person that you're living with, and you'll also learn a lot about yourself. Some of those things that you learn about yourself, you may be comfortable with, and some of them might make you a little uncomfortable. Seka Sala says, I feel bad after that. I felt bad after, but at the time I didn't know how to address that personal issue. Okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, my bad. I didn't read your comment. He says, first chick I lived with I was madly in love with, and she did my laundry, so she asked me to do hers. She was Panamanian, and she loved seafood, so her pH levels was crazy. I couldn't handle it. Yeah. Damn. Seafood can fuck up your pH balance and give you the fishy. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Well, I said crazy. Let me see. Artifact says dirty bathrooms in kitchen is a trigger for me. I mean, I can understand. Yeah. I mean, that's the place where you really know a person's level of nastiness. You can practice good hygiene and still be nasty. Yeah, you can practice good hygiene and still be nasty. In other words, you can wash your ass and keep yourself clean and still be messy otherwise. You know how they say people who dress the best normally have the messiest cribs? That's what they say. They say if you go to their bedrooms or wherever they got dressed, you'll see clothes everywhere. You'll see shit everywhere. You'll see a whole mess. But they came out of the house dressed to impress like $1 million. Threw on the ballet shoes and the fly green socks. All right. Shawshank. Ballarock? Born on April 7th. What's your advice for success? You're an Aries. You'll be successful. He says, I'm Indian. All right, cool. I mean, but like, he says, what's your advice for success? Stay true to yourself. Work hard. Put some money away. Learn how to invest. Wash, rinse, repeat. Keep your eyes on the prize. Am I a guru? No, not at all. What do I do? I'm a content creator. Yeah. Discipline is my advice. That's what's up. Sorry, I didn't get your work over here. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Artifact says arguments can cause illnesses. Yes, they can. It can, a lot of being under a lot of stress can be murder on your immune system. Murder is murder. Yeah, it can do your immune system in. Do your immune system dirty. Dirty. It's so dirty. So dirty. Hit the like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that you hit the make sure that you hit the oh, hold on, let me do something. Because I hadn't done this in a while. We already had one person pull it off. Listen, man. We got the Daily Go Get 'Emism shirts. Good quality shirts. The white with the red. We got the black with the white writing. If I will send you a free shirt, if you can send me, and I'm gonna up the ante, 15 subscribers. If you send me 15 subscribers, you subscribe for free, I will send you a free shirt. You have to show me proof that you got 16 people to subscribe. So I'll get the black shirt. I'll show y'all the black shirt. It's a good quality shirt. It's real good. 15 subscribers. Oh shit. Hold on. I didn't know he had that color. Alright. Get this one. We got a bonus one. Hold on. I got you. All right. Okay. So we got the white with the red. We got the black with the white. See that? That's the official font of the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. Cursive. And we also have the white with the black. But we only got one. I don't have inventory on this one. This is a large. So if you like the large, 15 subscribers. 15 subscribers. And I'll know that my subscriber count went up, and you can verify that you contributed by sending screenshots of the 15 subscribers to sun752@aol.com. AOL.com. Sun752, SUN752@aol.com, and I will send you out your free t-shirt like it ain't even nothing. Now let's say you don't want a free t-shirt. If you really just want to buy the t-shirt, hit me up on sun752@aol.com. Give me your size. I wanted to sell the shirts for $17.99, basically $18. But when I found out how much shipping costs have increased, I realized that in order to make any type of profit, I'm going to have to sell them for like 25 complete. That'll cover shipping and handling and all of that. Because the shipping itself is like $7 and something. And that shit lightweight. It's like $7 and something. It really, really went up. So the $25 covers the shirt plus the shipping. So hopefully, once these tariffs and all of that kind of shit, hopefully when things settle down, if they do, then I will respond in kind and drop the price. Because listen, man, it's hard out here. You know what I mean? I really want people to have the shirts. That's what I want. You know, and however we get it is how we gonna get it. Let me I'll put my email in the chat. SUN752 at AOL.com. $25 if you don't wanna if you just want the shirt. 15 subscribers if you want a free shirt. And you don't have to do the 15 at one time. So if let's say you get 5 today, screenshot me those at the email address, another 5 later on, boom, I'll send you your shirt. That's how we doing it. That's how we doing it. So let me know. That's right. Yes, I still have an AOL email address. Yes, and that shit works. Yes, it works. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah. Let me see. 31 votes. All right, living with someone has went down to 39%. It started off at 48%. All right. So, all right. We good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Bottom line is, man, when you live with somebody, it's going to be a challenge for you. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be something that you're going to have to make adjustments for. And other people are going to have to try to make adjustments to and for you. If it doesn't happen that way, then it's going to be really hard for you to cohabitate with someone. It's going to be extremely hard. You have to learn how to compromise. You have to learn that there's some give and take that has to take place. Give and take. Give, take. You know, when you think about what that means, giving and taking, what if they found another word besides take? Give and, how about give and receive? Yeah, maybe we should change it to giving and receiving, because when we say taking, you know, that could imply that you took it against somebody's will. When we say give and receive, that should imply that somebody else, that you gave and then somebody else gave back. Maritza says, for it to work, you both got to really want it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm in nothing but agreement with that statement. Nothing but agreement. I agree. I agree. Shoot. You got it takes work. It takes work. If you think you're just gonna walk, trip, and stumble into, you know, a loving situation or a good cohabitation situation, you probably aren't being real with yourself. Either that or you're just really, really misinformed. right, let's go. Let's do these birthday shout outs. Let's do these birthday shout outs. Birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 1st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the diggy. Number one out the box, Cheryl Tish Green. Happy birthday to you. And also Grace Smallwood. Happy birthday. And Trish, happy birthday to you. And Linda Nelson. And can't forget Christina K. And I could have sworn that was one more. Oh yeah. Last but not least, Shakina Smith. Happy birthday to you. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you. Wait a minute. My auntie Seal, Louise Gaines. Now Louise Lucis. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious May 1st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. I rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And I said, go hard, go for yours. And remember, yeah, we lived together. We was together for a long while. Yeah, had to peep the style. And I'll think that I pass any time somebody comes through just for a little cash. If you're going to live with her, make sure that you get along, not just when you like the same song. Yeah, because she wore a thong and it turns you on, but it turns you off, made you soft. Yo, you got to have more than just the physical, but still got to pass the physical. And understand that you got a head on your shoulders and it gets heavy like a boulder. And the world gets colder, yeah, and it'll get a little more chill when things get ill. And it's gonna get real from 10 until the next 10, the next day goes the same way. If you can't put up with them for a good extended part of time, then it's like a crime. And do you know that I'm not lying to you, and you don't have to buy into this? Not a pyramid scheme. This thing is more like a Midsummer Night's sex dream. And I ain't saying that you just had nocturnal missions, but my mission is to keep on fishing and keep on working and make sure that nobody out here is hurting. I'm trying to get the hell of a contribution. And I'm trying to do this shit and I ain't trying to be losing. But sometimes I feel like I gotta bang and bruise and I gotta make sure I stand by the things that I choose, the decisions that I make. Makes it sort of like a cake and sand bake. You understand what I'm talking about? It's like I take my time to make sure that the rhyme is a little bit perfect, but is it worth it to be with somebody that you're not really feeling and you just did it for half of the rent and the time spent? Maybe the coochie was feeling Gucci, but you gotta have more than that, like a 50 Cent Lucy, and that's kind of cheap these days because it went up because it's 75 in Purple Haze. Yeah, and these days things get a little harder. You gotta try to beg, borrow, and barter. Yo, you give me something, I'ma give you something, but it's something that we both can use so we won't lose. I know that if I be a little better, I'ma heat this thing up just like a warm sweater. but I'ma get her better than I was the day before. So I'ma ask you what you came here for. Yeah. And I'm feeling nice, and I'm hoping y'all feeling better. I don't want to give you advice, but the thing that I can give you is a words of wisdom. Like my man in the chat, you know where's that. I'ma see y'all tomorrow night, but it'll be starting at 1, and we gonna have fun, cause it's the music show on Friday, and you know how it go. I'm glad that y'all came out here to chill with Son, and you know how it really is. You know how it go with the real biz. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, all of you. Yeah, please share the show and push the like button too. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Tomorrow night. I said 1 a.m. tomorrow night. So make sure y'all come on through. We're gonna have a good time. You know, we talk about music on Friday nights, and we always have a great time. Real good, you know what I mean? So make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Yo, by the time it's 4 o'clock in the morning over here on the East Coast, so it's either time to go to work or time to go to bed. Time to go to work or time to go to bed. Whichever one y'all do it safely. And I hope to see you again real soon. I holla. Peace, y'all.